Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Dave. I'm here with another film review. Back again. This time I got to check out the film Mimics, which is going to be released by Panoramic Pictures in theaters nationwide on February 13th. Yes, Friday the 13th. This film is directed by Kristoffer Polaha, and stars him as well as Mōriah and Chris Parnell and Stephen Tobolowsky. He's a face you'll know. I'm sorry if I just said his name incorrectly, but as soon as you see him, you will know who I'm talking about. He has been in a ton of different stuff. Very noticeable face. All right. So the film reads as the synopsis this Mimics is the daringly unique directorial debut of Kristoffer Polaha, delivering fun, fright, and romance when a struggling impressionist and contract for fame takes center stage. The battle for a good man's soul takes the spotlight. This film runs at 90 minutes, which I think is the perfect runtime. Um, so this film crossed my path because I happened to see a trailer for it and had the offer to check it out. And as soon as I saw the trailer, I could not say no. I did recognize obviously Chris Parnell right away, and I was like, oh well, here's someone I enjoy from SNL days. But also the story itself was one that just looked like it had some potential to be a good horror comedy. As many of you may know, if you've been listening to us for a while, me personally, not a huge horror comedy fan, but if it's well done, I can enjoy it. I always say the same thing. I like a film that has, if I'm going to watch a horror comedy, I want a little bit more horror than I want comedy typically, or I don't want it, or I want more comedy, less horror. I don't know. It's a weird thing. I struggle with it, with horror comedy, to be honest. This one I did not. And it was because it didn't try to be something it wasn't. And it was very cut and dry for me as far as what I was expected to enjoy. This one definitely went more for it had. All right. So here's what I would say it had like that indie drama comedy feel to it. Then it got into the horror later. So first we built the story, the character development, you saw the dynamics in it. There was a lot of cringe moments, a lot of awkwardly funny moments. So the horror kind of takes place later in the film. I thought that was a nice transition because it made you care about the characters and get a good sense of who they are, what they're all about, all that good stuff. It didn't try to be super funny and then mix some horror in or some kills and then try like it was not like that. It was very much let's kind of ease you into it, and then later the stuff's going to happen as you kind of already expected if you watched the trailer or if you knew anything about the film. All right, so what I want to say about this film is probably something that most people watching PVD horror are not going to care about. Is at this core of this film, it's filled with like so much heart and purpose and you know themes of like determination and persistence, and I really really appreciated and enjoyed that. I thought that the character that Christopher Plaha plays, Sam, he's kind of like this struggling comedian. He's big into impressions, and he just can't seem to take his career to the next level. He's stuck in this dead end job. He's the boss is a jerk, all this stuff. Nobody finds him super funny, but he continues regularly to do stand up, to do these sets. They're usually met with awkwardness, um, kind of like people heckling him, all that stuff, but he never gives up. And he's got this father who he lives with, who is just the most supportive and caring person. He is Stephen Tobolowsky. He does such an amazing job as this character. You really believe it. You really believe that he could be this guy's father in real life, and that he roots for him nonstop. It's a really sweet relationship. And then he's got his coworker who's played by Mōriah, who kind of cheers him on, and also is obviously something possibly for a love interest, but I really felt like this film had a lot of heart. I feel like when Christopher wrote this film and created this film, like it to me it felt like maybe there was something personal in this that he experienced, or just wanted to convey. So I really enjoyed the storyline. Fergus is the the dummy, the ventriloquist dummy, whom he adopts later in the film when he's presented an offer by a new promoter who said, if you sign this contract, we're gonna give you fame, basically. So he gets this ventriloquist doll, and what ends up happening is Sam signs his life away, or his soul away, I should say, and he's at the beck and mercy of this new doll. And then the horror kind of goes from there, with Fergus kind of like doing anything he can to prevent Sam from trying to have his own personal life. And because Fergus just wants to perform all day long. And if Fergus isn't happy, Sam is going to feel it. So it's really a unique film. The way that it's developed, and then the storyline with Fergus is like, if you know the old the devil and Robert Johnson kind of deal. Like he makes a deal with the devil, and then you get all the fame and wealth, but you are at the devil's beck and call and the devil's mercy. It's kind of one of those types of stories, which I really enjoy. I think there's a lot to be learned from stories like that. I mean, is it worth having all the money and fame in the world if you have to give up who you are and all the people around you that supported you? I think this film kind of begs that question of, how do we stay true to ourselves and still become successful? And at the end of the day, is it worth becoming successful if you're a shell of the person you once were? So yeah, I love all that stuff. I love themes like this. I love, thinking about the films and kind of like trying to analyze and determine, the messages that they were said and they were trying to say. And I think this film really did a good job with that. So I really enjoyed Mimics. Was it the scariest thing I've ever seen? No, I don't go in thinking this is going to be this terrifying film. It's a little bit of laughs, a little bit of horror, a little bit of drama. It's a little bit of everything. If you like creepy doll films, this is probably a good one for you. If you like horror comedy, this is a decent one for you. If you like indie horror, indie drama, indie comedy, yeah, you're gonna like this. Actually, it just made me think that I mentioned this a long time ago on the podcast, but like I've always been a fan of the mumblecore genre, that genre of like indie drama where people are just kind of like talking and the relationships all seem kind of awkward but very real and authentic, or something like that. And like this isn't that, but it has notes of that. It has those relations in it, like the way they talk to each other, the way that they support each other. It's just, it felt kind of real and authentic in a way, and I enjoyed that quite a bit. So if you're looking for something to check out the day before Valentine's or Valentine's weekend, consider Mimics in theaters. I think it's a real enjoyable kind of surprise film, might catch you off guard, and you might really enjoy it the way that I did. So check it out. Let me know your thoughts. 100%. I always tell everybody, I just try to give an overview of these films and my opinions, but I want you guys to check them out too. So check out Mimics. Let me know your thoughts. Comment below or hit us up on social media, and I will, kind of hope to get a dialogue going then. All right. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you later.